Happy birthday, United States. This is Flame Flash, and welcome to the FlameFlash.net podcast, episode 60. Well, here we are. It's the 4th of July. Technically the 4th of July because it's 12:01 a.m. We're recording about 18 hours earlier than usual, 20 hours earlier than usual, because we'll probably be going out late to catch fireworks, be hosed down with bug spray, or, oh crap, I didn't pick any of that up at the store. Oh well. Welcome aboard. As usual, we will go straight to the Raptor report first off. It's slightly smaller Raptor report, but beefy. Raptor.com is where I go to do all of my gaming tracking. I'm Flame Flash over there as well. They have the PC client that lets you use all of the instant messenger programs, monitors, Xbox, PSN, Steam, sees who's online. It's a great little app. It works on the iOS as well. And I don't work for them. I just really like it. Magic the Gathering, Duels of the Planeswalkers, 2013 would be the first one up. Played the Xbox version tonight, or this last week. Got a little bit farther in it, unlocked the Innistrad board, tried out the Plane Chase mode. Plane Chase mode, it feels like the AI is slightly unbalanced. Like it's going and trying to kill me. Just me. Like it's out to kill the player. I'm not sure I like that. Maybe it's because I had the best deck, because I progressed neatly through and unlocked 4 cards for the fire deck. And fire deck, you're supposed to be nicely aggressive, so there probably wasn't much opportunity for me to not be aggressive. So maybe the AI just went after the most aggressive player. I don't know. I'm half tempted to pay some Xbox points and unlock, say, the green deck. Green's fairly standard as to what it can do. Big creatures. So I don't really have to get the feel for it. Just like I don't really have to get the feel anymore for the red deck. It's burn. So maybe I'll try doing that and check out the Plane Chase again just to see. Not sure yet. We'll wait. I like it though, a lot. Haven't ventured online yet. I'm chicken when it comes to online play with the Xbox community because, well, I haven't found a good Xbox community yet. The couple of times I've tried, well, it hasn't been pleasant. It just hasn't been enjoyable. So if anybody has some tips on things I should do, I changed my zone from whatever is default to recreation, so I'm signaling to everybody that I'm not a hardcore gamer, even though I kind of am. But once I become a dad, being a hardcore gamer kind of goes out the window. So it's a fact of life. I play when I can, I sneak it in, and I have fun doing it. Or fun playing with the kids. Magic the Gathering Duels of the Planeswalkers 2012 shows up on the Raptor report. This is nice because now, as 2013, 2014, etc. come out, if I'm still playing the digital versions, I'll have a way to separate my tracking between the 2012 base, which is when I started playing Magic the Gathering heavily again, and the cards, physical cards, and the 2013 digital versions. I like that. The nice split. We tried Plane Chase actually with physical cards. It is crazy trying to remember everything that's going on. absolutely nuts. It extends the time of the game by quite a bit. It extends the fun, but it's definitely something to play with more than two people. For instance, one of the events that you can run into reverses turn order. So suddenly, rather than playing clockwise around the table, you're playing counterclockwise around the table, or vice versa. So it does absolutely nothing in a two-player game. Pointless. It's kind of like playing skip in Uno against only one other opponent. It's just suddenly your turn again. That's it. You're not skipping anybody. Or reverse is even worse. In a two-player game, nothing happens. It's just reverse. So should I hold my cards in the other hand now? Oh well. Plane chase is cool. I like it. Just need more people the next time I give it a shot. World of Warcraft, next up on the list. Played it quite a bit. Fire Festival's going on. Dark Moon Fair just kicked in. After the podcast, I hope to sneak on and get my second to last chance at the Ice Chip pet from the Fire Festival and go up against a Hoon. Wait and see. Fingers crossed. I'm kind of doubtful at this point that I'm going to get it. I have 8 chances total. No. 10 chances total. So we'll wait and see. Dark Moon Fair, I now have all the pets and mounts. Now, I accomplished this by going through on all my characters and hitting the Dark Moon Fair as hard as I could. So I got tickets for all of them. From all of them. And now I'm looking at Dark Moon Fair and wondering, is it now moot for me, except for the free skill up weekly quests? So I went over to the replica vendor, and it's not. It is not. It is by far not moot for me right now, because the replica vendor really does have some awesome transmogrification items over there. It makes me want to level my Worgen Warrior, that's for sure, because he looks pretty amazing in some of those plate armor sets that are just sitting there waiting until he hits level 60. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I'd put him in that, I'd sit back, and that would be it. I'd always just transmog back into it whenever I got a gear piece upgrade. Once I hit level cap. It's kind of my issue with transmogging, because right now, since I'm not heavily into raiding or dungeon running for that matter, I get a new piece, or potentially can get a new piece pretty regularly. So I'm still running around in my around town outfits. On the Worgen Warrior, for instance, he has the top hat, he has the tuxedo, even diamond cufflinks and that diamond cane you can get from one of the fishing dailies. I wish you could combine the top hat and the monocle, because that would be pretty cool, but oh well. The Sims 3. Not much I can say about The Sims 3 further than I already have in weeks past. Strong game. It shows up on the Raptor report, because in between trying to keep all of the kids happy, Red Flare attempts to play this game. Or one of the kids decides to, hey, let's hijack Mommy's session and try to kill one of her Sims. She attempts to play it. She has fun playing it. I like the game, and we'll move on to Terraria. Been talking a lot about this game in the past couple of weeks, so there's not much more to add. The multiplayer functionality is pretty cool. We set up a multiplayer world on my account, and now the kids can play with their uncle online, or I can play with their uncle, but hasn't been enough time to really do that since the weekend, and since we successfully set it up. Still a good game, though. Sun has used, I think, all the meteor rock that he's going to use, so he's said he might start slipping me some of that meteor rock. I'm looking forward to the free upgrades, as it were. We'll see what I figure out what to make with it. But there's a Terraria wiki page out there. It's invaluable as a resource. If you're playing the game, you also need to bookmark the wiki. End of story. You also need to get that more Terraria utility that lets you look at the map. End of story. It's available on Steam. Go check it out. It's fun. Be patient with it. But that's the Raptor report for this last week. Kind of short, but full. I feel like I've gotten a lot of good gaming in, especially compared to some of the weeks past. Before we jump straight into a couple of gaming items, people, remember the internet. You may feel anonymous on the internet still these days, but be nice. There's this recent example of a Destructoid. I'm not even familiar with what that is. I guess it's a gaming website. Fellow, a freelancer, pointlessly attacking Felicia Day of Guild or Dr. Horrible fame. And pointless, totally pointless Twitter attack. He tweeted at her his insults. So they were definitely intended to land in her lap. From my lightly following of it, she graciously ignored it. But a couple of her other friends out on the interwebs, the higher ranking geeks that have quite a Twitter following, nailed him. Nailed him to the wall. Destructoid stepped back, said, "This guy doesn't represent what we're saying," and severed relationships with him. This is the kind of thing you don't want to do if you're trying to break into the gaming industry as a writer or a blogger or pretty much anything else. He certainly got some 15 minutes of fame, but it was that flash pan 15 minutes of fame that you can't do anything with except bury that dream and find something new to do, like a pen name. And write a book. So, let's hop over to World of Warcraft. We're starting to become a little more organized, oddly, because I'm taking my notes in a slightly more unique way, since I like to have those links for you for the sources of where I got my news. Tides of War book, coming out August 28th. So we actually have a World of Warcraft section this time around. Neat. Tides of War. This is the Jaina Proudmoore book, coming into Mists of Pandaria expansion. Aside from the fact that we know, well, spoilers. Maybe not everybody knows this, so spoiler warning. We know that Theramore gets attacked, possibly destroyed. The cover art has Jaina in distress, underwater, and that's about all we know. It's the Mists of Pandaria precursor book, and I'm looking forward to it. Haven't pre-ordered it yet or anything, but it's on its way. And if that's on its way, and the Mists of Pandaria cinematic is going to be first broadcast at Gamescom in Germany, the expansion pack is also almost on its way. I'm excited. Quite a bit I need to do in the game that I'd like to do in game. So we'll see if I can get it all done. Doubtful, but we'll give it a shot. The yak price. Okay. The yak is the kind of like the traveling tundra's mammoth. So you have your vendor on one side, your repair guy on the other side. Well, the yak gives you a vendor on one side and a reforger on the other side. Previously, you could only go to the main capital city, Orgrimmar or Stormwind, to reforge. So having a traveling version is going to be pretty cool. But thanks to Blizzard wisening up regarding account bound mounts, everything's account bound now, except for some specialized PvP for the most part. You know, faction related, class related. You're not going to see a Tauren on a Mechanostrider. It's just not going to happen. But what you will see is the price increase from, well, it doubles. So now the yak is not 60,000 gold, but 120,000 gold. WoW Insider, or I believe it was WoW Insider, had a very good point that if the intended target, if the intended audience are the hardcore raiders, you've just moved a good portion of those folks out of the pool. Because the hardcore raiders don't have the time, generally, to also be doing everything to earn gold. They're earning enough gold to get by to raid for the repair builds. The guild internetworks do the rest. Hey, can you cut this gem or blacksmith this item and craft it up? It's all done within the network of the guild whenever possible. So you don't need a lot of gold. Now you do. The Mists of Pandaria Collector's Edition, we still don't have, say, the box for it or what else is coming with it. We can generally assume that a making of DVD or Blu-ray is going to be there. We can generally assume a soundtrack. We can assume an art book. And then perks for StarCraft and Diablo 3. We also now know that you're going to get both a pet and a mount. The pet looks like a baby version, non-armored, very cute, of the Big Mama armored ground mount version. Not quite sure what these are called just yet. It's a Mist of Pandaria, definitely themed creature. But they look great. And the fact that you're going to be increasing my pet count and my mount count by 1, perfect! Speaking of, the book, release date of August 28th, the 5.0.1 patch is coming to the PTR, PlayStation Network. No, not the PSN, the PTR. Can you smell mists on the air yet? It's getting close. So, about a month on the PTR. Probably at least 2 weeks for the pre-mists patching event, whatever that's going to be. And then we're off into the mists. And getting monks. I'm really excited about those monks. This week only, you can also get a full current WoW license for $30. So, it's on the Blizzard store. $10 for a Vanilla and Burning Crusade, because that's all on one license now. $10 for Wrath, and $10 for Cataclysm. I was originally going after this. I think the post I made regarding this even said I was, but I'm going to hold off. There's usually a Christmas sale on the Blizzard store, and so at that time, to round off my spare license, we could grab the Cataclysm and Mists of Pandaria and save on shipping. Because the Blizzard Store shipping is kind of outrageous. It would have been $10 to ship it ground. Maybe the Amazon Prime is just spoiling me. I don't know. But that was actually all of the Warcraft news. So I like this whole slightly organized system. Let's transition over to the PlayStation Network, since I was accidentally saying the PSN. It's on my mind. First off, if you happen to have spotted news regarding the DC Universe sale, they're talking about in-game only, annoyingly enough. I excitedly went to the PlayStation Network thinking, hey, the Sun's really been wanting to make a Green Lantern. We're not really willing to shell out the full $10 for a downloadable thing for a free-to-play MMO that we don't play that often, but it was still $10. It's in-game purchases that are what are half off right now. So maybe he'll forget about it. I probably won't bring it up just to save him the disappointment. But I was certainly disappointed too, because it would have been neat to have seen the Green Lantern that he designed. Heck, it'd be neat to see the Green Lantern that Daughter's designs as well, because she has a character on DCU as well. And I think that would have probably pushed us to the next character limit. Oh well. Also on the PlayStation Network, are new PlayStation Plus games. You get the Gotham City Imposters, and then, oh, I'm already forgetting the other one. But remember over an E3, built-in game collections? Well, 12 games on the PlayStation Network for that. Normally, to buy them all, you would have to pay $289 to just buy all of the download versions. Yes, you can get them cheaper if you get the disc version on some of them. I'm sure the Ratchet & Clank All for One is probably on sale many places at this point. But to download them all digitally to your hard drive, to not worry about discs, $289 and some change. 6 times the cost of PlayStation Plus for a year. Come on. Just get PlayStation Plus. Makes economical sense. Join me. We'll hop over to a couple of random news items. For instance, news items of geekery. Kansas City website. So, Kansas City, Missouri. They're offering to remove people's mugshots, their personal information, from their website for a fee. So they're going and getting public information, gathering it up, and then basically blackmailing these cons, because one of the letters that they sent out actually said, we will paper your neighborhood with details of your arrest. Now, I'd support that depending on the crime, say predators, but we're talking DUI or, well, maybe then I have mixed feelings on it. Actually, if it's a DUI first offense, I just feel like this guy shouldn't really be in the business, quote unquote, of harassing these criminals. Let the criminal justice system do that and punish them. It feels a little like vigilante justice to me. And if they're being fined and punished, why should we be harassing them further? In my opinion, this guy could easily get sued by these criminals and claim they're victims of harassment. It just seems like a messy situation to create for yourself. Why make yourself a target? The fellow who is doing this website said that he's received threats. Of course you're going to receive threats. You're not only you're not only publishing information about people online, but you're publishing information about criminals online and then expecting them to pay you to remove that information. They're criminals. Of course they're going to threaten you. Did you not think that would happen? I just I guess I'm trying to wrap my head around the entire concept of the extortion racket that this guy's trying to do to criminals. And it just doesn't make any sense. Oh well. Other web related news. Chrome for the iOS has been announced. Haven't tried it out myself yet. Red Flare's kind of a not a proponent of change. Good, I got the glare I was looking for. She's not a proponent of change, so I know if I put Chrome on the iPad and replace Safari, I would have a stern talking to. She's making a face. I would definitely receive a stern talking to. Yep. So we'll move on. It's announced though, so if you like Chrome, which Red Flare doesn't, then it's available to you now. Give it a shot. It enables Google Sync, so if your primary browser is Chrome and you're synced to your Google account, you'll get all of your bookmarks carried over too. Pretty awesome. Diablo. We'll hop over into the Blizzard realm for just a moment with Diablo. The digitally purchased copies with the level cap and restrictions, that was an oops, Blizzard is now saying. They've apologized, they've released a patch for it. It's going away. Cool. The fellow from WikiLeaks, Assange, I've never heard his name pronounced, so I have no idea how to pronounce it. He's currently seeking asylum in Ecuador because he doesn't want to be and it's getting late because I'm losing all of my vocabulary, extradited to wherever it is that they're trying to extradite him to. His fear currently is that the United States will then demand extradition here on espionage charges. Seems like a valid concern. The charges they're trying to extradite him on, depending on the news source, are very iffy. I'm not going to go into the details because the details are pretty wishy-washy. Not a lot has been released, and given the accusations, not a lot should be released. So go research it for yourself, but we're not the judge or jury or executioner. So I'm going to leave that one alone. He's out there, he's trying to get Ecuador to give him asylum, and he's waiting to hear back. Supposedly Ecuador has received some threats from the United States, for instance, that he must be extradited. Why in the world is the United States trying to get involved in an extradition case that isn't extraditing him to the United States? That makes me think that his theory and fear is accurate and disturbing. Oh well. Xbox. We'll move into the Xbox. We're hitting all the platforms tonight. Cool. Except for the Wii. We'll go to the 3DS in a moment, though. have some random thoughts there that don't have a website link. But Xbox Live arcade games sometimes go poof. There is a great link from IGN on the notes, podcast notes, that will take you to an explanation of why. Licensing issues, mainly licensing issues. Like the Ninja Turtles license recently changed hands. Nickelodeon now owns rights to the Ninja Turtles. And nobody has gotten permission from Nickelodeon to publish the Ninja Turtle video games on the PlayStation Network or Xbox Live anymore. They just don't have it. So they're no longer available for purchase on Xbox Live. Supposedly, if you delete it, you can then go out and buy it again, or download it again. But I'm a little scared of that. So I'm just thankful we have those versions, and hopefully nothing happens to our Xbox. Halo 4 is going to require, public service warning, 8 gigs of RAM. Not of RAM, of hard drive space on your 360. So if you have a poor unit, or say a launch unit like yours truly, if you want to play Halo 4, you're going to have to clean out the fridge a lot. A lot. 8 gigs is almost half a launched unit's memory. I guess Microsoft just expects everybody to have upgraded, or I don't know. It seems a little disgusting that 8 gigs would be required, but especially since they don't offer a neat and tidy way to upgrade your hard drive like the PlayStation does. I really have my sights set on one of those shiny Star Wars themed Xboxes, but I'm not going to buy one right now or right when Halo 4 comes out. Not like I'll be playing much Halo 4 anyway because it's a first person shooter and I don't really do those, but if I did, I would definitely be out of luck. Oh well. As far as the 3DS goes, I've completed Find Me. I have all the hats. Red Flare is stealing my Sunkissed. And I just made her have Sunkissed go out her nose, so all's well that ends well. I have had my revenge. But thank you, dear. For those not watching the YouTube version, she just whacked me in the head with the Sunkissed bottle. Gently, of course. It's because I'm still conscious. That's how you can tell it was gentle. Anyway. Find Me. I have all the hats on the 3DS from the street passing. I'm just waiting on finding all the puzzle pieces. I still have fun doing it, though, for some reason. I guess it's that whole achievement points, completionist attitude that I have to gaming. I like it. The kids, Red Flare, not as into it. Not sure why, but maybe it's because they don't keep their 3DS in their pocket. So I always hit the cap on the coins that you're able to use, the 3DS currency. So I can buy puzzle pieces. I can buy heroes. They really can't, since they don't keep it in their pocket and score 10 coins per day. Oh well. They'll get there eventually. I think Red Flare's actually loading something into her 3DS now. Cool. Ha 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 ha. Discussing it works. Ah, Tetris. Excellent. But it's fun. It's one of those fun little mini games. It doesn't eat a lot of time. Friendly warning. 6 strikes ISP piracy move. Started July 1st. So the goal here is that the big ISPs, AT&T, Comcast, I'm not sure who else, are going out and they're trying to flag people as pirates. Pirates aren't going to be that stupid. You're going to end up flagging the general individual who says, I'm going to go peer-to-peer network and download this item real quick. Going to do it once, then I'm going to uninstall the stuff, and that's going to be that. That poor soul is going to be labeled a pirate. Technically, they were just then a pirate, but they're not the ones providing all of the information. This is kind of like the drug war. You shouldn't be going after the victims of the drug war, the users. You should be going after the providers of the drug war, the dealers. Catch the dealers. Get them thrown in jail. Get treatment for the people that are just abusing the drug. Get them out of the prison system. Well, that's my random item for the day that I had absolutely no plan to segue to. But going after the symptoms of the problem, which is there are these pirate databases out there or torrents available. You don't go after the individual user. You give the individual users alternatives for this information. iTunes is a great example. iTunes is really one of my only examples. Netflix, I suppose, Hulu. You can stream video online there. Amazon. Google has their store. You make digital content available to the general public so they are incentivized to purchase it legally. But you make the licensing terms such that you're not going to be punished for going through their service. Or it's not going to be awkward and difficult to use their service. That ultraviolet garbage. No, I'm not going to use ultraviolet at all. It's not user friendly. So I'm not going to do it. So instead, we purchased the last Harry Potter movie digitally from iTunes, because otherwise we would have gotten an ultraviolet copy. We didn't want that. We would have also gotten the disc, but it would have signaled to WB that, hey, I'm okay with ultraviolet. I'm not. There's also a truck driver shortage. Let's bounce around a little bit. Random news. I have fun with random news. So, if you're looking for a position, Red Flare's already vetoed it for me. Not that I was overly interested, but I have to poke her with a stick a little bit. And if you're interested, there's currently a truck driver shortage. That's about all I know. I have a link to the actual news item. So you can start there if you're interested. Now, where... Can't do too much drawer searching. I don't have a tinfoil hat handy. But here's a friendly warning. Those backscatter Xrays, those ones that they claim are safe, yet the safety rules regarding them slowly eroded from the technology's introduction as more lobbyists for these companies came onto the scene in Washington. You can watch it. I wish I had that link, but you can watch the evolution of when the technology is first introduced, it didn't meet safety standards. To it being used now, it meets safety standards. There's no difference in the technology, just in the standards. And now, they're being loaded into the backs of unmarked vans, and they're just bombarding neighborhoods. Let's go and see what's hidden on the average Joe on the street. There's a link. Judge for yourself. It's one reason again, if I'm going to have to be made uncomfortable, I might as well make a TSA agent uncomfortable as well. And then they'll owe me dinner. Yep. I'm not going through one of those scanning back scanners. We'll end the note on a non tinfoil hat. Nope, this went longer than I expected. Cool. Lots of news in the last week, I suppose. And I'm actually awake enough since I have this, 1.5 liter, 1.5 liter Sunkist sitting here on my desk. I shared it with Red Flare, so I didn't get it all. There's caffeine in Sunkist. Did you know that? But we'll end on a art imitating life, imitating art, imitating life note with a couple of links out to the flameflash.net homepage. I discuss Brave, Hunger Games, World of Warcraft, how it relates to Red Flare. We're going to plug that article because it recently got a decent amount of foot traffic on the main site. Lots of likes over there. People seem to enjoy it. So I'm going to direct the folks who just follow the podcast, please stop by. Also, feel free to stalk me on Twitter. I'm at FlameFlash. Raptor is probably the best source to find all of my gaming profiles and characters. So FlameFlash over at raptor.com, raptr.com. And I'm going to let you go since this went longer than usual. I wish everybody a happy 4th. Blow things up responsibly. Have a good night. This was the special episode 60 of FlameFlash.net podcast.